Hi everyone, what is up you guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So I decided to do a channeled reading on a very famous celebrity who has gone away. Marilyn Monroe. I've been seeing her all through my feed, so it's kind of like let me do a reading on her. What she thinks about Kim Kardashian wearing her dress. I am wearing my grandmother's rosary. I get a lot of my gifts, psychic abilities from her, so she's a big part of my life. So, all right. So, I don't know where to begin because I've never done a celebrity reading like this where someone has already passed on and asking their, not really their opinion, but because when you're already like gone, it's almost like it's neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is, like, me as a fashion designer, that's one of my biggest jobs as a fashion designer, and I make wedding gowns, dresses, things like that, beautiful clothing, couture. And a lot of times when we make beautiful, detailed clothing, it's supposed to fit one person, and it's that particular person. To have to do an alteration and things like that, it doesn't really sit well with me that a museum would let that happen, but it happened. So what are we gonna do about it? You know, it already happened. So, but um, yeah, that's a lot of a mess. So let me just. Ooh, I'm getting a breeze. I just got like a strong, almost like I'm getting goosebumps. Oops, sorry you guys. All right. I am going to use for Marilyn Monroe. I'm going to use my Ethereal Visions deck. There are certain tarot decks that don't really resonate well with me, and there are certain ones that do. And the Ethereal Tarot deck is one of the ones that actually does, especially with people who have passed on. So, alright, let's get started, you guys. Marilyn Monroe. That's a big one. That's a big one. As I was ringing the bowl, I just kind of saw her face, Marilyn Monroe, her face, and it's like she's just kind of saying, like, I just want to rest. I just want to rest. So she might be in a place where she just wants to kind of just keep to herself. She didn't realize that the press would be all over this again. You know, she knew that that dress would cause controversy, but she didn't think that it would cause another wave of controversy. So That's what I'm getting right now. Alright. Okay, Marilyn, what messages do you have for us? You know, it's very difficult as a female and as a minority female um, to want. You know, I always wanted to be, you know, kind of like Marilyn Monroe, and with the red lipstick and the blonde hair. And I never went blonde in my entire life. You know, and obviously I'm Asian. Obviously, I don't have any. I'm not white. You know, my parents came to the United States in 1981, and you know, I can only look to certain actors and actresses from afar, and to wish to be like Marilyn Monroe is not even, it's an understatement, because I wanted to be her so bad, you know, but in some ways now that I'm older, it's kind of like it was kind of overrated anyway, and it's not always, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So okay, Marilyn. King of Pentacles. I feel her energy kind of around me right now. The Magician. Knight of Swords. And the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so here's what I'm sort of getting. The first thing I got with this first spread right here, King of Pentacles, the Magician, Knight of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles, is that this museum was willing to work with Kim Kardashian because Kim was going to pay them a lot of money. And what kind of museum would say no? You know what I'm saying? To money. You know, a lot of times donations and museums live off of donations, especially after COVID. Yeah, you're gonna want to get the most money as possible. But Six of Cups. So they were willing to alter. They were willing to make arrangements for this to happen. Of course they were. The Fool. I tell you, in my opinion, she made that dress look like a Fashion Nova dress you buy on freaking sale. You know, she made that dress look not that great. Kim Kardashian, sorry. Queen of Swords. I think she's disapproving. Marilyn Monroe, she's kind of disapproving about the dress, the whole dress situation. She's But I am also seeing that Kim Kardashian was very adamant. She wanted that dress. She like, no, I'm going to wear that dress. I don't care what any of you think. I'm gonna wear it. She's she's that type of person where you can't really say no to her. I thought at one point she had a lot of forgiving qualities about her. Yeah, Three of Cups. She donated at least 2 million to that museum. $1 or $2 million so that she could wear that dress to the Met Gala. She wanted the press all over her. She wanted, like, because the Met Gala, right, it happens once a year and it comes with a theme. And it was supposed to be Gilded Age or whatever. Her dress had nothing to do with the Gilded Age. It just, like, you could have went to any other designer, but you had to get Marilyn Monroe's dress. Like, there's all these other designers that you could have picked: Dolce and Gabbana, Armani, frickin' Christian Dior. Louis Vuitton. You could have gone to any one big major, fashion designer, and yet you go to Ripley's museum and get Kim Kardashian's dress. That's it's ignorance. It really is. But also, it's an industry where money talks. You know, it doesn't really matter the principle. Knight of Cups. Her intention was to wear it and treat it with care. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Marilyn, she's just showing me like a clip of her wearing the dress and how all eyes were on her. She's like, that's what that dress does. Just people just gravitate to that dress and look at it. Whether they like it or not, they'll just look at it. It's a spectacle. That dress is a spectacle. Yeah. Page of Pentacles. Or Page of Cups. It's not a bad dress. It's not like a hideous dress. It's not like an ugly dress. It's just that that dress was custom made for Marilyn Monroe. She wanted to be the only woman to be able to wear that dress because she wore that dress for John F. Kennedy. She didn't wear it for anyone else except for him. And she wanted to be the only one to kind of showcase that, like, it's kind of like, okay, TMI, this might get into like 18 plus, 21 plus people, but if you're with someone that you're madly in love with, whether you're with them or you're not, there's always like that part of you, right, that kind of stays with that person. And for her, it's almost like wearing, I know it's a little bit more common now to wear lingerie, but for her, it was like being naked pretty much on stage, singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President, because that she was pretty much showing herself off, right, to him, even though there were like thousands of people in the room or hundreds of people in the room. She wore that dress for him, and that was the only intention of why she wore that dress. She showed me she was really in love with John F. Kennedy. She really was. And, you know, there were a lot of empty promises in that relationship that got her kind of sad, it brought her on a downward spiral, that relationship. Yeah, King of Cups. She was in charge of the room when she wore that dress. She's showing me that she's not a sex symbol. She's not Madonna. Madonna, even like Britney Spears, these pop stars today, she's not like them. Obviously not. She's more of like she's a career woman who it wasn't about becoming famous or becoming a famous entertainer. It was more so of showing the world at that time that a woman can be more than a housewife, you know. At that time in the 50s and 60s, that nuclear family dynamic was such a huge part in the life of a woman. And a woman would only marry a man who already had a career. So she wanted to show that women are more than just, and there's nothing wrong with being a housewife. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. But it was more like I wanted to rule. I wanted to be that person, that part of me that could possibly become first lady. She wanted a say with how history could be, how history could change. Obviously that couldn't happen. She passed away 3 months after wearing that dress. She was really excited to wear that dress and nervous. Page of Wands. She's not hateful or angry. She's not an angry person. She's not a bitter person that Kim wore her dress. She is, there's disappointment there definitely, but she also realized that there was more to life than the fame and the fortune that she got. In fact, it's almost like she wished she never became famous, kind of thing. Like she wished, a lot of her problems would be solved without, having to. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it at this. She had a very difficult past when she was younger, before she became famous. She had a very difficult past, and she had a pregnancy. I don't know if you guys know that, but she had a pregnancy. I believe it ended up in a miscarriage. She got pregnant very early. I'm seeing like in her teenage years. She got pregnant at 14 or 15, 13, 14, 15. She died at the age of 34, I believe. I'm not sure. Six of Swords. Six of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Two of Wands. And Temperance. There's also a side of her where she wished she did more philanthropic work to the community. Like she wishes she was there for um, to be more generous to others, to be more giving to others. She was very giving of herself to men, particularly men with power, because she thought that that would be her way up. That would give her control and a say in rulings, and it would give her more of a leg up. So, one more card. Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, she's definitely not bitter about Kim wearing the dress, but Nine of Swords. She's not bitter, she's not happy about it either, but she's also saying, like, look at it this way, like, she's getting a lot of bad press about it now too, so just almost like kind of leave her alone. But at the same time, it's like she brought it on herself. Kim Kardashian did. As I look at the Nine of Swords, I'm looking at it in such a self-critical kind of way. And it's almost like, living your life under the camera lens is not as great as people think. There's no privacy. The minute you step out of the house, it's like flashes of light everywhere, right? Nothing has changed. It's almost like you become a spectacle. And people have their own opinions of you. And sometimes you're just that sad little girl alone in her room. She spent a lot of time alone, Marilyn. She had a lot of inner demons, a lot of things that she couldn't control. She didn't have a lot of self-control, but she gave a lot of herself to others. She was madly in love with John F. Kennedy, madly in love. And she knew he was married. And there were conversations of divorcing and getting, like, don't ever, if you're a single female and you're dating someone and someone is in a relationship or in a marriage or something committed, don't ever think they'll ever leave them for you. And it doesn't make you a lesser person, they just didn't choose you. And at some point, you have to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and say maybe in another lifetime, you know, and move on with your life. She never got the chance to really move on, right? She never got the chance to really heal. She let her mind and her emotions get the best of her, which is tragic. It's tragic. And the only time she really found healing was when she died. The only time she really found herself was when she passed away. It's interesting. Yeah, she really... Yeah. Chariot is the last card. I believe she was a Cancer. The Chariot is the card of Cancer. She would, if she could have her way, she would embolden other women, particularly women, to take charge of their own life, to kind of move forward with their own life. Don't depend on anyone. And if you need people to help, there's always going to be people that will help. But it's almost like, be confident. That's one of her things, is to be confident and to be in charge of your own life. I heard that she actually wanted to start her own production company, which was interesting because I was actually thinking about starting my own production company. I don't know how that works, but I was thinking about it for like a week, and I even wrote it out and planned it out, but I don't know how all that works. I would need connections, obviously, with that, but if there is a dream or a vision that you want to see fulfilled, you gotta go after it. Alright? 10 of Pentacles on the bottom. There's fortune and happiness. She's also saying how money isn't everything, you know? It's not always about money, it's about being fulfilled with yourself, right? She had a lot of insecurities, you guys. And so does Kim Kardashian. One thing that the two have in common is there's a lot of insecurities there, and there's a lot of just messy love lives. And you know, a lot of times women, if we're not careful, ladies, we can spiral out of control and for one person that we thought would be the one, right? And they're not. So, you know, take it easy on yourself, especially women who are in sticky situations. You know, keep your head up. And remember, things can always be worse. There are times where I've thought that the world was going to end because, you know, a guy would leave or I would break up or things and that. And it's not the end of the world. Just have to keep your head up and just keep moving. One of the things that I'm not going to say that I'm happy to break up or I'm happy to move on. It's more of like, well, if this is what it has to be, then let's keep it that way. Then that's the way it's going to have to be. You know, people change the trajectory of their own history by not, you know, by making decisions that can kind of be, silly. Alright, you guys, that is all I have. Six of Swords. This is also my card of healing, moving on, resting. Life can be complicated if you let it. But if you don't let it be complicated, you'll find yourself in calmer waters. Alright? So that's just some of my advice and some of my channeled messaging. I don't know what that was, but sometimes I forget what I say. So, yeah. I am actually going to not be doing... Oh, no. I'm going to be doing personal readings. Yeah, I'm going to be doing personal readings. So if you guys want to do a reading with me, please hit me up. I'm always here. I'm flexible. I'll do a reading. Set in stone, 3 questions, and set in stone is my price for a personal tarot reading is $25. I try to keep it as affordable as I can, because I know some of these tarot readers charge an arm and a leg, and I'm just like, no. So there you go, you guys. That was my reading. I hope that was very insightful and easy to kind of understand, and that if you are a female, I already know, and male, anyone, we're all going through something. And a lot of times we put ourselves in situations where we shouldn't be in, and then we get stuck in that situation. So just be mindful, you guys. Be mindful of yourselves, your mental health. And yeah, have a good day, everyone.